What up, great people? Country CEO here, man. Come on in on this old Saturday morning. Got a little time spend with you guys on this morning. Come on in, come on in. Country Hustle, what's up? Good morning. Country Hustle, can you hear me? My sound is good? Give me a thumbs up if my sound is good. Hit the likes as you come in on this morning. Hit the likes as you come in. Let me know my sound is good. Okay, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, hit the likes as you come in. We're going to get it popping here on this beautiful Saturday morning. About 63 degrees in South Louisiana. Ken, there you go. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, AD? Glad I can get back on here, man. It's been a minute. I guess a couple of weeks now, a month maybe. Definitely wanted to get back on here, update you guys with where I'm at. Shoot, we at the end of a year, man. Look at that. We at the end of a year. All right. Texas A&M and Miami starting at 11:10. All right. So we'll put that on, and I got plenty of time to chop it up with y'all. Yeah, man, it's another year, AD, man. 2025 is about to get out of here, man. Can you believe that? Wow. What's up, Mike? All right. So welcome in, guys. I'm gonna jump right in. Again, hit the likes for those of you who hadn't hit the likes. Man, listen. Whew, couple things. Yeah, we still rolling, man. It got a little slow. Um, uh, Proud Dad. Yeah, we do the consultations, man. We do consultations. Let me give you the website. You can set it up over there. IamCountryCEO.com. All right, so um Thanksgiving week was a slow week, obviously. And then the next week after Thanksgiving, which was the week of the first, it was choppy, rain. I think we only did 3 or 4 days, 3 days in the daytime, 2 or 3 days at night, made it do what it do. Then the second week of the month, which was the 8th through the beginning of the 8th at Monday, same thing again. Matter of fact, here go my book. It was we still rolled, but not full force like we normally roll. The week of the 8th, I only had 3 trucks out that Monday. Then I had this is the week of the 8th. That Thursday, all of them out. That Friday, all of them out. That was last week. This week here, the 15th, started off slow again. Monday, I had 5 out. Tuesday, I had all of them out. Wednesday, I had all of them out. Work Wednesday night, everything out Thursday, work Thursday night, everything out Friday, work last night. And I got 3 out today. So that's kind of like I've been. So I guess the point I'm making, it is not full blast. It done tamp down a little bit, if I can use that term. It done drop down a little bit. It's not full blast like we were in the early part of November and previous months from that. We've been rolling hard ever since the end of July. So July, end of July, I'm gonna just say August, September, and October. We really blowed smoke, y'all. We rolled, we rolled, and I would say the first 3 weeks, and then the Thanksgiving week of is when it tamped down a little bit. And so for the Thanksgiving week, the first 2 weeks of December has kind of broken down a little bit. How's it been for you guys? Is it bad? No, not by a long shot, but it's an obvious revenue difference. I'm not going to sit here and fool you on that. It's definitely an obvious revenue. I'm going to tell you the revenue probably is down probably realistically definitely about 30 to 40%. Not half. It's not down half. It's about 30%, 30 to 40%, I'd say. So definitely still enough to make it. Thank God, here it is again for the night work, because that night work, getting 2-3 days in a week with 6 trucks at night, to coming back to 6. Guess what that does? That makes up for the only 3 or 4 that start the week off slow, right? So this is how I balance it, y'all. This is why I love the 3-6 the day night 7 day a week model, because it positions you to be able to make up the difference with the night work. And watch this: if you work every day with every truck and get the night, Ken Etheridge, that's Lanyard. But if you not working every truck every day and you still get your 3 or 4 nights, guess what? It really just makes for you worked every day during the day. You might have a little yan liat. So that's just how it works for me, man. I'm not tripping, right? So that's how it goes. So hit the likes, guys. We got 4 likes. Hit some more likes. AD, as long as the weather agree, we will be all right. Yeah. Obviously, we have no control over the weather. We praying and hope for the best. Either way the cut go, pretty much January is my slowest month. So thanks be unto God. All the notes, all the insurance, everything's paid for December, right? So I'm giving praises to the Most High for that. And so now I'm jumping into my slowest month in January and just gonna see how I go. But guess what? I got good news about that though. I got good news about that. Planes, what you got? Do you have any videos in the archive on the steps to add a dump truck driver to an owner, to add a dump truck driver to an owner operator fleet? So sounds like planes, are you scaling up? Is that what you mean? Or are you scaling and you trying to see about adding a truck to the fleet, driver truck to the fleet, or you got the truck already? You just need to know about going by hiring somebody, or what? Let me know what you're talking about. All right. So the good news is, in the midst of all this, is that you don't ever know how this thing gonna go with the holiday, right? All right. I'm a single driver, but want to hire a driver to run for me. Okay, on that same truck. I got you. I got you. Um, well, man, one of the, obviously a safe driver, right? I think that goes without saying, but I'm gonna give you something else that I look for beyond the safe driver. I mean, because that's something the person should be anyway, right? So that's not any extra added stipulation. We hope and pray that they're a safe driver. Their record will reflect that, right? Whether or not they got speeding tickets or accidents and things on their record. But beyond that, here are some things that I look for when I'm adding somebody. Number one, mindset. I want to have a conversation to this. See, can I get discern a little bit about their mindset? What do you mean, country CEO? Are they a family person? Do they have kids? What's their outlook on being a driver and doing what they need to do? So in other words, I'm looking for a guy that's got a family or got kids. If he's a decent guy, that tells me he's got to work. Number two, I'm looking for that guy to work, but he's hungry. He wants the shifts. He wants some nights work, some night work. He wants, if you got someone on the Saturday, he'll work, So I'm looking for a hungry guy in that sense. Not hungry as in he's starving and gotta work, but hungry as in even when there's that extra, or he wants to make extra. That's the culture here that I built at CQ First, right? The culture is that I'm looking for guys that are go-getters, that are family guys, or either got kids, which means they got a reason to get out there. Even if it's not for themselves, they got other reasons that make them go get it. The second thing is business. Do they have a mindset to take care of business and the paperwork and all that? I don't want nobody calling me, to determine how to do make business decisions as relates to how to fill a ticket out. We show you one time, but sometimes I've had people that just don't know how to fill a ticket out, don't know how to ask the right questions on the job, don't know how to do nothing. And so it makes my life easier if I got somebody that got a business mindset. So those are the things that are important to me. That's the culture I built here of having people that can do those things. So I hope that helps. I don't know if I made a video on that. If I did, it was way back. I think maybe what you want to look for in a driver. All right. So here's the good news. So we got I think a 40% chance of rain tomorrow. I got so many calls. Oh my God, everybody wants to work Monday for sure. I need about 18 trucks for Monday. So I got my 10, my 11. I got one in the shop. I got to tell y'all about that too. 10 trucks, and then so I'm gonna have to hire about 7 or 8 so we can fulfill this order for Monday. But everybody want to haul Monday. It's that pre-holiday rush. People trying to get it in, I guess, before the holiday. Now, so Mondays are all, and then even if we get this little 40% chance of rain Sunday evening, Ken, I still suspect, well, it's actually during the day Sunday, that we should be able to work Monday morning on asphalt. Okay, so that's number one. It's still yet to be determined how they're gonna do Wednesday, right? Christmas Eve. I'm really hoping for a half a day. If I can get a half a day in with somebody, I'm tickled to death because I know my main company they shuts down, but they shot me and work the day before Thanksgiving. They normally like to give a travel day before the holiday, but who knows? All right, hold on, guys. Me, this heater is too hot. I cut it on and now it's got hot up in here. So, um, So I don't know how next week is going to go. I'm sure we're going to work Monday and Tuesday with everybody. And then hopefully we should work Monday night and Tuesday night with everybody. But I just don't know how Wednesday is going to go. Now, here's the good news. And this is what happens sometimes, guys, and why you can't always put previous years into a box, Ken Etheridge and an AD. Friend of mine, this is his job. He has a customer that wants to work Wednesday, possibly. He's starting the job Monday, but it's a dirt job. I don't know how the rain is going to do with it come Sunday. But if we miss that rain on that dirt job, this guy wants to go to work the day after Christmas. I'm tickled to death, right? The day after Christmas and that Saturday and that Sunday on into that next week until he finishes up this dirt job. Got about 15,000 yards of dirt, and he want to go back to work the day after Christmas. I'm tickled to death because if that happens, then we're not missing a beat. Because if I work Monday, Tuesday, half a day Wednesday, come back and work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all of that's in the same week. Guess what, guys? That's just like a regular week, and we done had the holiday. The beauty of the dump truck business, man. That's why I love it so much because these things are possibilities. Nothing says that, okay, well, it's the holiday, you ain't gonna do nothing. You got stuff like that working. That may be the case. That's just what I know of. There's no telling what else might not pop up, right? So I'm excited about that possibility. But I know what my main company is going to do pretty much. Historically, they'll work the Monday and the Tuesday. They'll work all the way up to the day before um, Christmas, Christmas Eve. So I don't expect them to work Wednesday and Thursday. Matter of fact, I expect them to be off the rest of the week after Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. One of the things that you always factor in, though, the push of jobs will make some folks work even right after the holiday. So a lot of times it's not a given that people are going to just shut down. Ask the question. Start asking the question now so you'll know how to plan for that. All right. Proud dad, how do you pay? Do you need to have a payroll coming? No, you don't. We do it in-house here. I have thought about turning it over to Paychex. If you've heard of that company, they're a national company, Paychex. I haven't done it yet. My secretary, basically, the guys do their time daily. They turn their time sheets into her. She does their time. I write their checks. And so that's been a pretty good system that works for us here. But you can. It's not mandatory though. If you got somebody that know how to do it, really ain't nothing to do, man. I did my own payroll, made the slip. I got the withholding tables from the IRS, and I did my own payroll, man, for probably 20 years. Yep. So that can be done by you. So that's where we at. All right, so let me tell you about this truck before I forget. Man, my quad axle Mac, 2023 Mac. Weekend before last, this joker guy came put some tires on it. It wouldn't crank. He boosted it off, pulled it up, killed it, changed the tires. Got ready to to bag it up. Truck wouldn't crank. Tried to boost it, wouldn't crank. My mechanic came that Monday, looked at it that Sunday, looked at it Monday, Tuesday, looked at it Wednesday, Thursday. Look, we could not get this truck cranked. And it's showing snake eyes or cat eyes, as some of y'all may know it as, on the transmission module. So it looks like something is going on with that. He tried all he could, and then it looked like the so what one of the things we discovered happened is the starter solenoid had locked up, Ken. Okay, we took the starter off, went got the solenoid, another solenoid put on it, thought we was good to go. Guess what? Truck still wouldn't crank. So I told my mechanic, I said, okay, well, look, man, look like we're gonna have to go ahead and get this thing to the dealer. So I called a shop. Guy actually came to my yard to look at it. ECM burnt up, Ken, the computer. So I had to order a computer, $2,500. Thought guy came, put the computer on, but it was blank. So we still needed to get it to the dealership to get the computer program. I had to get the truck towed to the dealership Friday, Thursday. What day is Saturday? Yeah, Thursday. $950. Towed to the shop, they programmed the computer. Guess what? Truck still won't crank. And so now I'm looking like they saying it's something with the Allison transmission. Maybe it's the TCM, the computer for the Allison, maybe it went out. Because if that truck, when you get ready to crank it, if it's not in neutral showing in, it's not going to crank. So they wanted to check everything on their side, on the ECM side, before I do that. And then they called me yesterday evening and say, hey, look, we got somebody come from Allison, come and look at it, and Monday to see what's going on. So that truck has basically been down 2 weeks. Fooling with this whole first week, lost a whole first week with my regular mechanic, trying to look at it, had to get it to another mechanic. He was able to diagnose that. Now he ends up at the dealership all. How much money have I lost? The first week of his down, we were slow. I really couldn't have worked it until that Wednesday. So I lost 3 days that week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then this week we were slow Monday and Tuesday. And so I lost Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. So I've lost about 6 days with it. You want to know? Let's just do the average for $800 on that quad axle. Just using it, just being modest. I've lost $4,800 with that truck being down. I've spent 25 plus the 9, which is 34, just trying to get it to running. I can make that back, but the 4,800, the lost days, y'all know I teach this principle. Downtime is what kill you. It's not the breakdown, because you can't get the days back. You can make up what it costs to fix it, but you can't get the days back. So that's a smooth $5,000 that I've lost in the last 2 weeks for that truck that I won't get back. I just wanted to share that with y'all, the game about that. All right. All right. Hit the likes, guy. We got 10 people. Hit the likes. Let's get these likes up for the country CEO right quick. All right. What we got? AD, change your gear selector box on the Allen. I had the same issue on a KW. Wow. Thank you, Ken. I mean, AD, definitely will let the guy know. Check that out. If he comes up and says something about that, the gear selector. Okay. Okay. I ain't heard anybody say that. Everybody's telling me the TCM. But we'll see. Plains ACO, I have the drive already, but wasn't sure if there were any other steps besides adding him to the chair. Oh, okay. Plains, that's what you mean. Okay. So run his record. You get his record, let them run his record. If his record is clear, you want to do obviously a W-4 to have him fill out an application. You need an application on file for DOT. If MSHA comes and do an audit on you, they're going to be looking for an application. They're going to be looking for a drug test. So you need to do an application, have it on file, and then you need to do an initial drug test and have it on file. And then obviously, and that should give you their social security number, address, and all that stuff. and so you can get to your CPA. So at the end of the year, you can give them a W-4, or if you're going to 1099 them, they need to fill out a W-9 so you can give them the 1099 at the end of the year. All right, what else we got? We're getting our second truck. Paving down in Florida, big paving contractor. Where do you post for job position? Oh, okay. For if you're going to hire a driver, I'm assuming. Proud dad, I'm assuming you should. Where do you post for? Ah, I don't post. My stuff is just word of mouth, but I'm sure you can try. You can definitely do Facebook. I see guys putting ads up on the social media, um, Craigslist. But for me, I do word of mouth. I ask family and friends, current drivers I have, so because I know I'm gonna get a decent background check by word of mouth. They're gonna tell me the real about that particular driver. So that's how I've typically done my hiring. And then I keep a list going too once I have people calling me looking for a job. So the quad wasn't under warranty. Country Hustle. Well, the problem is that with us boosting it off and the cylinder locked up and it backfed into the computer and burned it up, that's on us. Unfortunately, that's on us. It's not now if something comes up with this TCM, that could be under warranty. But the fact that when we boosted it and that cylinder burnt up, it backfed into the ECM and burned it up, that's on us. So that warranty is not going to cover that. But if it's that transmission, something of that nature, then yeah, it's that TCM, that's under warranty. But when you talk about starters and cylinders and things of that nature, that just unfortunately is the luck of the draw. Yeah. Do you just bug auto trim? Yeah. That's all I do is auto, man. I don't own any other. I don't own any manuals anymore. Will not own any manuals anymore. I have all automatics. What's up, sneaker boy? You made it on. Huh? You finally saw I was on, huh? Yes, hit the likes, man. We got 17. Let's see, can we get to 12 likes right quick? Y'all hit them likes for the country CEO. See, can we get this algorithm crunk up a little bit? We've been on 23 minutes. Let's get that algorithm going. There you go. There you go. There you go with likes. Okay. There you go. Let's get the likes going for the country CEO. What's up, sneaker boy? I saw you had put a comment on YouTube about something. What you talking about? You didn't get the notification. You must be ain't get the notification set. You got to set your notifications, man. All right, up to 8. I need 4 more likes to get me to 12. 4 more likes to get me to 12. So that's the other thing that I've been dealing with for the last 2 weeks. That doggone, that doggone quad axle Mac and that. Now, watch this. Let me give you some game on this. When you get into, I saw some of y'all had about fleet. One of the beauties is when you get into building a fleet. Ken Etheridge, you'll find this out. And I'm shouting out Ken. Ken texted me and told me that they've got their 4th truck, man. I'm so proud of him. He went through my teaching. We consulted with him, and I am just overjoyed to see how the Lord has blessed his business. We had just the 1, and he's moved to 2, and then I remember going to Florida for 3, and then now the man has went got number 4. And I am so excited for him. And he used my finance guy, Jeremy Baker, out of Arkansas. So Ken, shout out to you, brother, man. I love to see it. You're gonna definitely make me have to make a trip down to Florida. Man, oh, by the way, man, I'm gonna be in Jacksonville. January the 12th through the 15th. National Baptist Convention is coming to Jacksonville. So I'm gonna be in Jacksonville from Monday. I should get there that Monday evening, I believe, from January the 12th to January the 15th. So I don't know how far that is. You are from Jacksonville, Ken, but Duval is where I will be. All right. And so, and then I'm going to fly Jack. If Jack Peak is on here, I'm going to fly out that Thursday from Jacksonville and go to Atlanta to a little event up in Stonecrest, Georgia, at New Birth Baptist Church. I'll be there from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, January the 16th through 18th. So that's just a little something. But man, oh wow. Yeah, I got some good questions. Okay, I'm coming. Um, yeah, I made me forgot my thought. I was talking about the fourth truck. So one of the good things about having a fleet is that if one goes down, is not a total disaster, right? With me having the amount of trucks I got, the one down, I'm not tripping. I'm not worried. Now I was one driver short anyway. I had never hired a driver, so it's not like somebody's sitting and not working because that truck is down. Because I got the night work and I got the other truck out the shop. Remember, I showed y'all the truck that was bagged into. I got it out the shop, so I just put the truck. The driver of the truck that's down. He's in that truck, right? And I just hadn't hired another driver yet. I'm not gonna hire another driver till after the first of the year. Once we get the other truck out the shop, I'll probably use a few part timers until I determine who I want to hire. But my point is that when you build a fleet, your mentality, your business perspective of your business changes from is not so much individualized revenue. It then becomes volume, right? Volume. You ever notice? Let me see. Can I put it in your lap? I'm coming with your question, but let me see. Can you put it in your lap? There's $1 million worth of game right here. You know how when you're starting out, it could be just a dump truck or it can be in any business. Units, every unit sold is important, and you are concentrated on how much money you're making on each particular unit, right? I don't care if it's tennis shoes, t-shirts, whatever. When you're starting out and initially starting, it's like you got to get that profit off each particular unit. But as you grow, it then switches from so much profit off individual units to where it's all about the volume that's being sold, right? It then begins not so much that I got to make $5 off each shirt, but now if I'm making $2.50 off each shirt, but I'm selling triple the shirts, I'm still making the profit. I'm making it in volume. All right. Ooh, that's $1 million worth of game. Y'all understand that? Put 100 in the chat. Put 100 in the chat if y'all understand that. Put 100 in the chat. That's where I'm going. Right. So when you get up to a certain amount of trucks, and I'm gonna tell you, it's not 11. I got 11. 11 ain't the number. You're gonna see the transition around 5 or 6. Ken, you're on the doorstep, bud, at number 4. You get around 5 or 6 trucks, you're gonna see the switch then happens whereby you can actually have a truck or 2 down and it won't hurt you. Now, I'm not saying they be down 7, 8 months, but just because you have a couple of weeks where one is down, or if it gets slow and you ain't work, but one is not working for the time being, guess what? It ain't gonna kill you because your business is focused on volume, right? Volume, the whole picture, as opposed to so much individually focused. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Right. And so with the one being down, I ain't tripping because it's all based on volume, and I'm still getting the volume that can take up the slack of that down truck. All right, I just wanted to make that point. Let me back up and get those questions. All right, proud dad. How do I send for a drug test? Look in your town, Google some kind of drug testing consortium or business. Call them, set up an account. Tell them you're an employer. You want to set up an account so you'll be able to send guys to get drug tests. That's all I did. Baton Rouge here. Set up an account with a drug testing place that tests employees, and you're good. That's all you got to do. Country hustle. Give us a word for the weary. Oh, well, a word for the weary. Man, I could always do that. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 says, don't worry or don't be anxious. The context of that text really says, don't worry. Don't worry about anything, but in everything, through prayer, supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. In other words, don't let a spirit of fear overwhelm you, whether it be whatever it is that you may be bothered by, concerned about, feeling fretful about. Don't worry about it. But instead of worrying, that text teaches pray about that thing. And it says supplication, prayer and supplication, right? Doing what in the prayer? Letting your request be made known unto God. You know, you're asking God for what you would like to see happen, right? And what you need to see happen and what the concerns of your heart is. And then you got to know how to pray the word back to God. You know, the word says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, my business, and all of these things should be added unto you. What are the things? Our wants. And so, you know, your prayer needs to be, God, you said that I'll seek you first, your kingdom, that all these things will be added unto you. You said you never leave me or forsake me. You said, so praying the word back to him. And then look, this is what it says it'll do. If you don't worry and you pray, verse 7 says, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. God can give you a peace even in the midst of when situations look bad. Business gets slow. You know, nobody's calling. The phone is not hardly ringing. And sometimes when we think on that thing, it'll send us into a frenzy of worry. Well, what that text teaches, Paul told the church at Philippi, he says, look, he says, if you would do the praying and don't worry and put it on him to provide for you, he'll give you peace. And you don't understand how you got peace in the midst of all this stuff not looking good, right? You still will be peaceful. And it says that peace will guard your hearts and your mind. That word guard, y'all got me teaching and preaching now. That word guard is a military term, which means that peace that he can only come from him will guard your hearts just like an army, and your mind. Why is it important for your heart and your mind to be guarded? Because it will not allow fretfulness, anxiousness, panic to set in, because that peace will cover you and cover your mind, even in the midst of what looks like not being a good situation. Things ain't going too good. You still chilling, just waiting on God to do what he's going to do. I hope that's a word right there. All right. Thank you, man. All right. Yes, sir. I was working with a broker who got upset. I went and tried to find my own work after slowing down on the project we were on. I thought I was supposed to find my own work. Yes, sir. You are supposed to find your own work. The only reason Sneaker Boy Joker get mad about something like that is if he's losing access to your truck. He's losing access to your truck, because if you go and get your own work, then you are going to be self-sustainable. In other words, not saying you will never work for him again, but you will not be able to be dependent as much on him. And watch this, brother. Sometimes some of the brokers don't like you being independent or less dependent on them. Talk Jones, but you are going the right way. I hope that you can mend the relationship, and it's not such that the relationship is not, able to be mended. But I would have a talk with him and say, hey, man, look, this is nothing against you, but I am trying to build my business. I am trying to grow. I'm not a guy that wants to get one truck and that's it and work for one person. I am a person that's trying to build generational wealth, build my business, and have multiple trucks. That is my vision. That is my dream. I hope we can still work together. I want to work with you, but I am trying to build my business. Any respectable person, Sneaker Boy, ought to be able to respect that. If he still got a problem, then that might not be the kind of guy you want to have a whole lot of dealings with anyway. I wouldn't burn the bridge, because you never know when you may need work. But, sometimes it's worth having a conversation. Let guys know that you're not an average Joe out here. And watch this, y'all. I'm not knocking anybody that maybe want to buy one truck and that's it and you're good. I'm not knocking that. If that's your thing, hey, do that. But if you're somebody that wants to grow, sometimes you got to let them know, hey, guy, I'm not content with just having one truck work for somebody. I'm trying to actually grow a business. So that's what I would do. Yeah, Ken. Why did I think you went down to Florida and got the truck, Ken? That's right. That's what the hell I saw you in South Carolina, right? I talked to so many people, man. Speaking about automatics, what are your thoughts on the Eaton 12 speed? I hadn't been too high up on the Eaton at all, man. I've heard too, if that's the ultra shift Eaton, I don't know. I've just had multiplicity of problems. People talk about that. All right. Well, all right. Congrats. Where you at in Florida? I'm in Port St. Lucie. All right. That's good. Let's hit the likes. We got 19 on. Those of you just coming in for the first time, hit the likes. Let's get the likes up to, we got them to 12. Let's get the likes up to 15. I need 3 likes to get to 15. How many moderators do you work from home base? See it. Who is that? See 674. I'll go 100 miles. I mean, if the work is right, if the rate is right, it's all about the rate. If somebody's going to give me some drive time and the rate is pretty good, I mean, I'll go 100 miles out. But on average, we do 50 miles out on average. Me and the man above and consult on that situation. It's time to step it up and learn the bidding game, consultation time, and the slow time. Right, that's it. That's it. That's awesome, bro. That's the game and how it's played. If you're trying to grow. Good morning. I'm looking to get started on my own. I live in the Huntsville, Alabama area. Huntsville, Alabama is a pretty good area. I know some guys down in Mobile that are working pretty good. Jamal and them, and some guys got doing big work down in Mobile on the coast, man. But do your research. One, you're in the right place. I got all the game on the channel, and then here's some other resources. For those of you guys, I needed it. I forgot I should have done this because it's a lot of people that have since joined the channel. Thank you for getting me to 16 likes. Let's see, can we get to 20? For those of you who just coming on the channel and may not know the resources that are available. One, I don't know if you know about this one, but how to get started in the dump truck business. Amazon. 20 specs to find the right truck. Amazon. 20 ways to find the work. Amazon. And for those of you a little farther up the road, how to scale up your dump truck business, how to grow that thing, and then how to bid on dump truck transportation jobs. All right, so watch this. You can get them on Amazon, or you can go to my website. I just put in the chat and get them all for a special price, right? It's a bundle. All right, you go there and get the bundle and get them all and save quite a few dollars, right? So don't forget, we got the game in book form as well as on the channel. You can set up consultations and all that at that website, iamcountryceo.com. See, I was going to do some more reels because I hadn't done some reels lately about the books, but a lot of times people forget about the books. What's up, Daryl Howland? Good to see you back on, man. How's the work up in Little Rock, Arkansas? Tell me about Little Rock, Arkansas. Tell me something about Little Rock. How's that work in Little Rock? All right. J.S. Mabry. I'm in Mobile. Yeah, there you go. Mobile, Alabama, right there. All right. Work here in Arkansas is very slow. All it has been a very bad year in dumping. Yeah, you told me, Darren, when you was thinking about, I thought you was coming on down to Rayville in North Louisiana, man. What happened? I thought you was gonna come on and give that a try in Rayville, where Meta is putting the big old thing at up in North Louisiana. It's a lot of people. I done got so many calls about that job and work, and it's stretching all the way down here where even some of the local contracts like 5S is a local contractor that's got a piece of that work through another contract up there. And they work for, guy I do work for does work for them. And he was telling me about he might have some work up there. Not did I want to go, and I would have went with him because I trust him. I was gonna go, but then they didn't want to give him the contract and the terms, so he bagged out of it. So I thought I was gonna be going up to Rayville for a little bit, just to do that with my guy who I work for here. But a lot of people are descending on Rayville, Louisiana, on that Meta project. It's a lot of prep work, a lot of money being made up there. I hadn't really heard any bad things about people not getting paid. Only things I've had is that on some of the stuff, the rates are kind of suspect, right? So just make sure to check the rates But what happened, Daryl? I thought you was coming to North Louisiana on that job. Northeast Louisiana. All except for the last one. All right. Man, this channel is a blessing to everybody. We look forward to these live. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I got to get back at it. Just sometimes I get a little carried away and have other stuff getting tied up on those Saturdays, but I'm back where I needed to be on this Saturday for sure. They said it was not good down there. They are nothing. They are not getting enough work. Okay. 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 So I guess Dara depends on who you're with, right? Because I know some guys that they talk like they're working every day. So I'm thinking it must be dependent upon what contract, just like any other huge job like that, man. It's all about who is the contractor you're working for. That's what can make or break you in those situations. Who is the contractor? What's the nature of their participation on the job? How much of the work do they have? That's what it's going to depend on. All right. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me, man. We wish you guys definitely a good holiday, and we just trying to work through these holidays, man. Um, but I think we're gonna be. I got a feeling we're gonna be working, and I'm excited about that. If we can just stay dry, Ken, we're gonna be working. That's gonna be the key, and that's always what I've told you guys about Louisiana, South Louisiana. We're not worried about ice or snow. It just boiled down to we can stay away from those fronts. These fronts come out of the west and come across the United States, and sometimes they bring some precipitation and all that kind of stuff. This one that came through yesterday, Thursday night, it just brought cold. It didn't bring no rain with it. Sometimes they bring a little water. So, looking at the forecast next weekend, it looks pretty good, man. I think I only saw a 20% chance of rain for the latter part of the week. What's up? Out of sight, out of mind, and come on up in here. What type of holiday bonus you give the drops? I give them cash. I'm actually getting that ready. I'm gonna get that ready Monday because we're gonna pay these guys probably Tuesday because the banks are gonna close that Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So we're gonna pay these guys Tuesday. Uh, and so I'm gonna add the bonus in. Now, one of the things I like to do, guys, is I always give it on the Christmas week because I know that's a slow week, right? And they'll have their bonus in order to help them, you know. And so I always wait until the week of Christmas. So I'm gonna be doing that, but it'll be a few $100s for everybody. You know, I make that sacrifice. I definitely want to show these guys appreciation. This ship wouldn't float if it wasn't for them and their diligence and consistency and all of that good stuff. So it'll be a few $100s for everybody out of sight. Juan, I've been running the barges. We started at 4 a.m. today. We'll finish around 7. That's good stuff right there, Juan. Where you at, Juan? That's my look. I like that kind of stuff there. You talk about barges. That's off the river, and that should be rain or shine. Where you at, Juan? Okay, now this forecast and change is 50% Sunday, partly cloudy amount, scattered showers, likely a few thunderstorms. That's Sunday morning. In the evening, mostly cloudy. And then Monday is a 30% chance of showers in the morning, becoming partly cloudy and mild. See, don't know how that thing gonna go. And then the rest of the week is good. 20% chance next Sunday. So, but the whole week is good after this little Sunday into Monday deal. Temperatures are good for asphalt. So it's all about tomorrow. Yep. And one, I'm glad you brought that up for those that don't know. Barges, offloading barges. And I'm assuming you're offloading limestone or granite or some kind of rock. But that's one of those things that can go rain or shine. Lacey Springs, Alabama. All right, Lacey Springs, Alabama. And that's limestone. Is that limestone off the barges onto the limestone yard, or you going to a job with it? Give us some details. But ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the things that goes in the winter times. And don't fool yourself. It's there. And how you know it's there, Country CEO? Because the limestone yards start stocking up this time of the year for the new year. So check them limestone yards out in them barges, y'all. They start stocking up. We got 2 yards down here in Baton Rouge. Matter of fact, Joe got barges Monday. I had one of the asphalt car companies got barges, and um, one of the asphalt companies got barges, and one of the other companies, one of the limestone yards got barges. So that stuff gonna go either way the cut go. All right. I was just checking a text from dispatch I got yesterday. And this is also, watch this, Ken Etheridge. This is where the game helps you at, having getting these contracts, especially, we know what's going on with DB and all that stuff, but I still got 3 or 4 contracts on DB. But watch this. I was just checking one of these text dispatches, and it's actually one of the jobs that I won on contract that we're gonna be doing Monday. And so guess what? They have to give that work to me because it's a DBE deal that's designed for me to get so much of the work. And so look at how that helps you to have that work even through slow times such as this as a guarantee. From the Rogers Group, rock quarry less than a mile to the barges, loading crusher run. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Love it, man. Love it. Keep that going. That will them barges will work. That's all I can tell you. Done a plenty of them. Them barges will get you over. I never forget. I tell y'all this, y'all, and I'm gonna get ready to land the plane. I never shall forget. Back probably about 15 years ago, I was going on one of the limestone yards and helped them do 6 barges. And I had 3 trucks at the time. And I had all 3 of mine over there. They only had 4. And that's what they use on barges. They let me put all 3 of mine and they used their 4 for 7 trucks on those barges. And man, we done those 6, and it was coming up to Christmas, the week of Christmas, man. We thought we was gonna do those 6 and be done for Christmas. The day before Christmas, man, they pushed up 6 more, and they say they was gonna be working. They're gonna work up until Christmas, take Christmas off, be back the next day. They told me 20 more barges was on the way that next day after Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, that one year, yeah, and it rained. Oh my God, it rained. I literally done 33 barges with that company over the course of a 3-week period during December, Christmas week, New Year week, second week of January. And I never shall forget, a good friend of mine called. He said, "Hey man," I said, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, we all loading barges over here." He said, "Man, let me tell you, you the only one working in the whole city." I said, "What?" He said, "Man, ain't nobody else doing nothing with this run." And I was like, wow. So that peace I spoke about earlier, man, look, God can bless you in the midst of pouring down raining and storm. We worked in rain, storm. It was storming. They ain't never, it wasn't lightning though. And we offloaded 33 barges that winter. I had a great winter that winter, boy. So don't get down and get, you know, disgusted and thinking that ain't nothing. Look, sometimes you got to look up under some rocks, if I can use that as a metaphor. You got to go pull some rocks up and see what might be under them. In other words, open some doors, knock on some doors you wouldn't normally knock on, talk to some people you wouldn't normally talk to, and you just might be surprised what you may find. You just might be surprised. Hit the likes. We got 24 people on. Y'all get me to 20 likes before I land the plane on today. Get me to 20 likes before we land this plane on today. All right, man, it has been wonderful. Been on here, what, 50 minutes, 28 of y'all. Y'all are increasing. Any more questions before I get off today? Give you a few minutes if anybody has any questions. But that's the outlook on us. I'm getting ready to have my big safety meeting, planning that out for January. Y'all saw my theme for 2025 was we built different. in our work, in our wisdom, in our watchfulness. Our work, I wanted it to be excellent. Our wisdom, I wanted good decision making. Our watchfulness, we want to be safety conscious. So I got another theme that I'm gonna have for us for 2026. Um, Excited about the fact that I'm with another insurance company that basically, I'm saving half of what Progressive was trying. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited, Ken, because that gives me a glimpse of the money that we're gonna be able to keep in house as a result of that, right? I can count. I can actually start counting a little bit, right? By saying, okay, since I'm not paying $300,000 a year in insurance, I'm paying 145. I'm gonna actually be able to count some of my money. If some of you got more than one truck, start considering bulk fuel, right? I got the bulk fuel tank. I'm getting fuel now, look like anywhere from 15 to 20 cents below pump price, right? So I'm saving money there. I'm getting my DEF for $1.27 a gallon by getting it at 500 gallons at a time. I'm saving on that. And so my mindset is going to auto. So I'm saving on my insurance. I'm saving on my fuel. I'm saving on my debt. And so now my mindset now is I'm trying to figure out what am I going to be able to save on? What can I look around and figure out where can I save at in 2026? Because one of the things to look out for, the longer your drivers be with you and good people, they're going to be looking for raises. So as I give raises, he go $1 million worth of game, y'all. The last one. As I know I'm gonna have to give more money out for raises for my good people, I need to be looking to where I could possibly save in some other places to offset their costs. And so really it'll mitigate, if not 100%, at least half of the impact of the raise. In other words, if I'm gonna give $1 raise to a guy, well, maybe I can look over here somewhere and see where I've saved 50%, and that helped mitigate the impact of the raise. That's $1 million worth of gain right there. Give me 100s in the chat before I go. Give me 100s in the chat, man. It's been good talking with you guys on the morning. I see my little Yeti cup. One of my daughters gave this to me for last Christmas, man. My Yeti cup, she got made. I pretty much drink out of this every day. How about look at my fuel company? See, this is what happens when you're doing good business with these fuel companies and vendors, right? You got your vendors, they want your business. He brought me a Yeti by yesterday. That's my fuel guy. He brought me a brand new Yeti with the metal straw. Then he bought me, they gave me some kind of this thing like a multiple two, it turns into all kind of stuff. So your little vendors, they want to keep your business, so they gonna do all kind of little perks and stuff. So I keep that in the drawer. They gave me a little thing that they fuel truck, that kind of stuff. So, but look at always here. I'm gonna leave you with this. Think about Daryl Holland. Think about what can you get cheaper. What Look at what you're paying for already, and look at what you can get cheaper. And you're gonna get something cheaper when you when vendors understand that they're not the only one that got your business or want your business. You're gonna get it cheaper. I was able to leverage my fuel guy again this year because another fuel company was bidding for my business. He said, "Oh no, we're not letting you go." What are they trying to do it for? And that joker went on or down more on the fuel. So um, think about your businesses. Those of you who already have trucks, where can you save? I don't care if it's just one area. Where can you save at for 2026 and see can you figure out how you can save money in that area? All right. Darryl, I got 11. I got 11 trucks now. Maurice, man, you catching the back end, man. We've been on almost an hour. Where you been at, man? Early bird gets warm. You can't be sleeping late on these Saturdays. Proud Dad, what is your most in-depth course? Do you help obtain? No, I hadn't helped done anything with DBE. Um, um, I think Proud Dad most in-depth course is going to be determined about what where you're at and what you're looking for, right? Because everybody's need is different. Go check out the website. Like I said, we got the books, and I think there's some courses on there as well. Go check out the website, man, and I believe you'll be able to see what fits you, right? And just send me a message. Clarence Pugh, got your own truck. Clarence, where you at, man? What state you in? Or what city you in? What city you in, Clarence? Let Clarence answer, and I'm gonna get ready to land the plane. Look, man, it was good to catch up with you guys. Congrats again to Ken Etheridge on truck number 4. Okay, Clarence is in Alabama. Okay, all right, man. Godspeed, Clarence. Uh, keep working. I'm assuming you've been working it, and keep that going, man. Just the beginning. Just the beginning. Um, congrats again to Ken on number 4. Love to see it. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm here to help dump truck business guys get into the business and to see their businesses grow and expand, man. That's why I'm here. Thomasville, Alabama. What major city is that around, Clarence? Thomasville. What major city is that around? I'm just wondering. Is that on the coast, Mobile? Is that Birmingham? Sneaker Boy, yeah, I want to do Mid America this year too. Yeah, I'd like to go back to Mid America. Man, look, I had a nice time at Mid America, man. He fumbled it. I had a nice time at Mid America, man, in Louisville. I think I want to do that again. Go check out Mid America again, man. I was right there to where I could walk right there, catch a Uber right there to the place, man. So yeah. Oh, Clarence, you round Mobile, man. And well, that's um Jamal and them guys is down in that area, man. In Automobile. Shoot. I thought I had his hat. I forgot those guys' businesses, Jamal and them businesses' names, man. They're down in that Mobile area, man. Wow. All right. Guys, it's been good. Glad to catch up. Definitely will be catching them more. Definitely got that content steady flowing. I've been enjoying. I hope you've been enjoying the good, the bad, the ugly of the dump truck business over the last few weeks. We definitely gonna be coming with some more game Monday leading up to Christmas and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. We're gonna finish this week strong as we get ready for the new year. I will be back on doing a live before the new year as well. So be looking out for that. Set them notifications. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell so you won't miss out. Y'all be good. Country CEO, I'm out of here. I'm gone.